Good morning to all of you. We'll start in a while.
Yeah, one of our invited guests is on the way. Anytime about to reach, so just wait for 2-3 minutes. He had a meeting in the morning and then he finished and coming almost reach. So just wait for 2-3 minutes.
A very good morning to all of you, respected dignitaries, eminent scientists, professors, innovators, students, and dear guests. A very warm welcome to all of you to the grand launch event of SugarSight, hosted with pride at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. SugarSight. It is a powerful digital step towards holistic diabetes care for children, adults, and the elderly, with a special focus on those at life's delicate edges, pediatrics and geriatrics. Because whether the person is young or old, one truth remains constant: Care should never depend on distance. At the heart of this innovation stands a visionary, Professor Dr. Radhakant Padi, the force behind SugarSight. A celebrated rocket scientist, a renowned professor, a mentor to hundreds, and a leader behind several national missions. And today is an auspicious coincidence, we also celebrate his birthday. Sir, it is an honor to launch your creation on your special day. Before we begin, let me share a small anecdote. Once a wise professor at IISc said, "Technology is meaningful only when it dissolves human worry." That sentiment beautifully captures the purpose of SugarSight. With that, I welcome all of you to a morning of innovation, insight, and inspiration. Now, I would like to call upon our volunteers and Dr. Professor Padi and all the dignitaries on the stage. Dr. Satyanarayan Shrikant, Professor Padi, Dr. S. Somnath, Dr. Sanjay Rajpal, Bina? Dr. Bina ke paas. Who else is left? Professor Raghunandan, no? Huh? Professor Raghunandan, no? On stage we have to call him.
Raman, you are not prepared well.
I would also like to call upon Dr. Pramila Kalra on stage. Now, I would like to request all our dignitaries to proceed for lamp lighting.
Samprada Shandra दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते
This lamp lighting ceremony signifies knowledge, guidance, and the dawn of solutions that serve humanity. On that note, let us begin by honoring our dignitaries whose presence elevates this event, and we all thank you for your time, your wisdom, and your support. Now, I would like to call Dr. Padi to present the Angvastram to all the dignitaries. I would also like to call Mr. Nayak, Mr. Jagannath Nayak, and Mr. Raghunandan to please come up on our stage.
Professor Raghunandan, the most senior person
Yes.
here. We'll take a photograph. Take a photograph. Take a photograph, please. Yes. No, you give me one. Yes, please. Yes. I have one. Yeah, please, the third one. Yes, round of applause.
We have a surprise thing for the birthday boy. Oh, okay. Vishvasys Technology, he told me, is Lord Sri Vishnu. Somnathji, we have got a Lord Vishnu for him. This is for the birthday boy.
Very good.
It's a Lord Vishnu. Yeah, we didn't know the meaning of Vishwa. He told it, he named it after Lord Vishnu. No,
Now I would like to call upon Anushri and Muskan to present the decorative plants to our dignitaries. I would like to call Dr. Sanjay Rajpal to present the welcome kits to our dignitaries. Continuing, now I would like to call Dr. Satyanarayan Shrikant for his shlok chanting and his remarks on the occasion. But before that, an introduction. Though he doesn't need any introduction, but still it is my privilege to introduce him today. Dr. Satyanarayan Shrikant is a globally respected endocrinologist whose career blends exceptional medical expertise with lifelong social commitment. An alumnus of AIMS, he went on to serve as faculty at Harvard Medical School and a researcher at the National Institute of Health, USA, by age 29. Since 1993, he has led the Samatvam Endocrinology and Diabetes Center in Bangalore. For over 3 decades, he has also championed healthcare access for both the poor through initiatives like Disha and Dosti, ensuring life-saving diabetes care for the underprivileged.
Yeah, before he takes over, can I request all this row people can come that side? You'll see a much better view. Okay. Just so many seats are there empty. Quickly settle down so that you can get started. So many seats are there. The other seat, other row, this row you can take. Quickly go that side.
Hari Om, Shri Sadashiva Samarambam, Shri Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Shri Asmatacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam. Shri Radhakant Padi also gave me a responsibility of doing the prayer, so I will try to do justice. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Shri Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Deva Sarvakaryesh Sarvada Sarvakaryesh Sarvada. Revered eminent citizens of Bharata, colleagues and friends, scientists, engineers, dignitaries, and all of you. Special thanks to Professor Radhakant Padi and team for this unique learning and service opportunity. As I was driving home, it's a 1-hour drive, I put my thoughts together. Like a lot of you, the days are crowded between patients, research, projects, community work, etc. So it's an unstructured one, bear with me. I salute all the people on the dais. Sri Somnath, I saw him do the Chandrayaan, and today I got an opportunity. And it is a sacred event to be in the company of such living gods who give their life every bit to the people and the nation, and all of you. Today we have gathered to mark a very sacred event, a dedication of 2 vital healthcare technologies to our people and nation, SugarFit app and the insulin pump and autopilot artificial pancreas. I am a physician scientist. When my dad was the doctor, he was a family doctor. There were only 8 doctors in Bangalore. Bangalore was tiny, small, and his charges were rupees 25 paisa or 50 if they gave. he made us a doctor in a home whose rent was 22 rupees, sleeping on the floor, 4 children, 2 became doctors, 2 became engineers. So I'm alive because of my mom and dad. Now Bangalore has become huge. He was the last one to get a visa to heaven. He reached God about 3 years ago at 98. So if whatever I do, it's the inspiration from them. I am a physician scientist, and I deal with diabetes and associated challenges every day, 24/7, 365. Yesterday was a large clinic. That is, we run the world's largest free type 1 clinic, supported by so many people, and also the large type 2 clinic for adults. To see young child, small ones, yesterday I might have seen about 10 or 12, my team, it is a distressing story. What do I tell a small child's mother who has got diagnosed? First question we ask is, we don't ask about diabetes. What do you want to become? The child wants to become a teacher, doctor, etc. And then we tell, who made oxygen? God. Without oxygen, you don't live for few minutes. Who made water? H2O. They say God or nature. Without water, you don't live for about 8-9 days. Then we tell, who made insulin? No, sir, they don't know. Then we'll tell them, yes, that's also made. Who made you? Pancreas. Who made? So without insulin, these children will not live for 24 hours. They are dead. Okay, so oxygen, water, insulin, you need to convince them. Still they are worried. Then I tell them the story of Samudra Mantana. I tell them what came first. They say Visha, then Nilakanta took it. Then what came next? They say Amrut. What happens if you take Amrut? You live forever. I tell them, do you know the English name of Amrut? They scratch. Some say nectar. I tell, no, insulin name. The English name for Amrut is insulin. Without insulin. And you should know that insulin has won more Nobel Prizes than anything. Okay, discovery of insulin, radioamino amino acid structure, DNA structure. It has won about 5-6 Nobel Prizes. The one who discovers the biological artificial pancreas should get it. The automated insulin delivery, several people have contributed. They all need a joint. Don't know what, you are seeing that now they are doing gene editing to transplant, etc. Now, coming back, I tell them it's easier to have a heart attack, cancer, get treatment. This disease, type 1, tortures the family and the child from the onset to till when they merge with the God. Now, as a doctor, for any health, there are 3 essential factors to provide any health care. One is documentation, now electronic medical records. Without that, you cannot. Number 2 is communication. It is face-to-face, but after COVID, telemedicine has become a bigger issue. So the discoveries and implementation of Professor Radhakant Padi and team is helping documentation as well as communication, virtual consults. So I read about deep tech. I don't understand much about deep super, it's a tech. So you can document, you can communicate using technology. But there is a third element which is very difficult. I want them to suggest a technology. It is the honesty and compassion of the doctor. There is no technology for it. This is a problem throughout the world. So what is the technology for honesty and compassion? It is divinity and the spiritual foundation. That's the strength of this country called Bharata. And that's all what has contributed to the achievements of all the people. Now, a lot about AI. Yes, I can only summarize about AI in general. There is a famous quotation from the Harvard Business School professor. Humans will never be replaced by AI, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. So there is no way to go. You come to our clinic, we are quite strong in EMR. AI gets used on the way. Even while driving, I have a patient with a problem. Instead of reading 10 books, I go and get it and send it to my team. So whether it's ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, it's all, so AI is there always. But there are challenges of AI. Next month, I'm supposed to give a lecture on AI and healthcare. I'm reading it. The common terms like AI bias, AI de-skilling, non-skilling, and mis-skilling. That means brain undergoes cognitive atrophy if we don't use the brain. All these are talking. The last one I read recently was AI poisoning. If the data you put wrong things, pharma companies are doing it. They're putting their bias research, so you will make treatment decisions. So AI is as good as the whatever training you have done. Now coming to insulin pump and AID, our institution started the first insulin certified program in 2002 with 5 trainers. 3 of them were diabetic themselves. Here we have a friend called Dr. Vinay Chauhan. He has type 1, he wears the pump, he is our role model. If you look at it, the AID, okay, all of you have studied biology. If anybody asks, what is the smartest and the most beautiful cell God has created? It is the islet beta cell, not even the neurons. The islet beta cell is the smartest creation. How does it do? It has a glucose sensor, which is a glucokinase enzyme. It has a lot of enzymatic pathways, which are the control algorithm, and it has an insulin factory. So glucose sensor, I call the chemistry as the beta cell brain and the insulin factory. What the AID does it creates an artificial glucose sensor, and it creates the beta cell brain is taken by a control algorithm, and insulin factory is the pump. So to summarize, if I teach medical students, the central purpose of an autopilot pancreas is to mimic God's physiology as close as possible. And that's what the team, it's very nice, autopilot. The algorithms are similar to aviation. Now, last point, as I told you when I met him a month ago, he told me that Vishvasys, Vishwa is the Vishnu in Vishvasys Nama, that is the first word in the beginning. So I promised him that I will salute Vishnu the protector and Dr. Padi with my concluding prayer from Vishnu Sahasranama. Hari Om. Vanamali Gadi Shrangi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki Shriman Narayano Vishnu Shri Vasudeva Abhirakshatu. Vanamali Gadi Shrangi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki Shriman Narayano Vishnu Shri Vasudeva Abhirakshatu. Vanamali Gadi Shrangi Shanki Chakri Chanandaki Shriman Narayano Vishnu Shri Vasudeva Abhirakshatu means protects. So on behalf of all of you, let us pray to Lord Almighty Shri Vasudeva to Abhirakshatu, protect, nurture, and take Vishvasys technology to greatest heights so that it spreads all over the world, so that Vishvasys Technologies in turn can Abhirakshatu protect the health and millions, not only in Bharata, but on our planet. Thank you very much. Hari Om, Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Dr. Pramila to share her. I invite the esteemed Dr. Pramila Kalra to share her thoughts on diabetes care and the evolving digital healthcare ecosystem. Ma'am, I have to read I will be reading the proposal.
Okay, fine.
Dr. Pramila Kalra is a professor and head of endocrinology at Ramya Memorial Hospital, known for combining strong clinical practice with academic excellence. She holds an MD from KGMU and a DM from SGPGIMS, along with prestigious fellowships from Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, and the American College of Clinical Endocrinologists. With over 21 years of experience, she specializes in complex diabetes with a wide range of endocrine disorders. A prolific researcher with 60 plus publications, she's also a key clinical advisor at VTPL and has also become a core member of artificial pancreas development team, helping advance technology-driven diabetes care in India.
So good morning, everyone. And at the outset, I thank Dr. Radhakant and Dr. Rajpal for inviting me here. It has been a nice journey working with Dr. Padi since 2017. We actually started collaborating. At that point of time, when Dr. Padi came with the idea of developing an indigenous artificial pancreas system for our country, because we know that insulin pumps are available, not that they are not available. But if you talk about how many patients in India can actually afford those pumps, the number is minuscule. And the reason is the cost. We know that we have a lot of resource constraints. We have a huge population of diabetes in our country and a huge population of type 1 diabetes as well. So when we talk about type 1 diabetes management, we understand that type 1 diabetes children or adults will need only insulin for their glucose control. And unless they have a good system of taking it, like we know that they have to take 4 shots in a day, which is quite tough for many. And insulin pump is one of the best ways for them to take that insulin. And we know the cost is a big deterrent for many of them. And that's why we started this project way back in 2017. And that time, myself and Dr. Mala, both of us, and Dr. Chitra, we started this project. And we collaborated with Dr. Padi. And we have been working on this project ever since then. And we have had a lot of breakthroughs in that, definitely. And we are definitely going to get the outcome very soon. Talking about today's launch of the SugarSight app. Now, why such apps are needed? That is what we need to understand. Now, when we talk about diabetes control, we know that diabetes control is very easy. We say, okay, patient can take tablets, patient can take insulin, but it's not so easy. Hardly 30% of the patients in our country actually achieve the HbA1c target. We have done a huge diabetes registry from our center, and what we found, 27.7% of the patients only could achieve the HbA1c targets of less than 7 pan-India. This was a pan-India registry. And the reasons are many. The reasons are, we know diabetes is a chronic disease. Patient has to follow everything. Patient has to follow lifestyle, has to take the medications, insulin, has to follow the glucose values. Patient has to meet the doctor. All these problems come up. And still, in spite of getting the best of the medications and everything, we don't achieve that control. And this is pan-world. It's not like just in India. Even if you see the overall scenario, even internationally, we don't get the best glycemic control. So we know that AI is very important for anything, for any disease, and especially for a disease like diabetes, where you know that patients need continuous support. Now, we had a system of that patients can call our educator and tell about their glucose values, and educator will talk to us and call them back. But that's a very cumbersome procedure. We know that patient has to call, the educator may be available, may not be available. So we know that apps are one of the best ways to help these patients. All these things we learned more during the COVID times, because before that we were not so much into online consultations, we were not so much into understanding the need of online consultations. But after that we understood, when the government actually allowed and made apps for that, that you can do online consultations and help your patients, and how it changed the scenario. I had patients who called me after 10 years and they were not able to contact me because they were not able to come to the hospital. But when we started online consultations, they were so happy. They said, we wanted to contact you always, but we weren't able to come to the hospital. So this is how AI changes, or online thing changes. And that's the purpose of this app. So when you talk about diabetes, you know that we need to check the glucose values. We need to see what the diet patient is eating, what dose of insulin or medications has to be given, and how frequently the patient has to follow up with the doctor. All this comes in this app. So you have a patient who can enter the values, who gets a CGM reading, the reading comes onto it. We have a system through which it comes, and then we know that patient's diet is also taken care of. We come to know what the patient is eating. Now we know that patient can take the picture of the plate, and we can get to know what calories the patient is eating, what is the amount of carb, what is the amount of protein, because sometimes it is very difficult for the patients to understand and do carb counting. We do teach them, but it's not very easy. It's easy for us to tell them, but it's very difficult for them to understand many a times. And along with that, how to titrate the insulin dose. So this is what this app is going to help the patient. And alongside with that, once in a while, they will want a doctor to come and help them. So that's what's the use of the online consultation, which is also there with this app. So this is how this app will help us and will help the patients, because our purpose is to use AI, is to use technology for patients' benefit. And our whole team of Ramaya is there for this launch today. Dr. Ganvi, she is my colleague at Ramaya Medical College, and we have our team of the research associates who are working for this artificial pancreas project with us here, who are here to see and help the IIC and Dr. Radhakant to give the clinical inputs, because we know that as doctors, we understand that, as Dr. Shrikanta rightly said, that If we don't learn AI, we will be non-existent in few years. So we have to learn, and we are all learning. We all use EMR, we all do online consults, and we are learning more and more. And with ISC, we have been actually able to learn it better. There are so many things which we have learned from them, because as doctors, we don't have a traditional teaching in AI when we did we didn't have a traditional teaching when we were doing our MBBS or MD. But now we know that our children, our students are actually learning AI. They have subjects, they are learning AI, but we didn't learn that as a subject. But now there's no age to learn. We all can learn. So, and that's what we are doing. And with this app, this app will help the patients to do their glycemic control better. We will also understand how to manage our patients better. And the overall purpose of everything what we are doing is to give a good quality of life to the patient. The purpose is to help the patient. We can empathize with the patient, but we can only help them if we give them the technology along with the inputs or the clinical inputs which we are giving to them. We may be doing the best for them, but with the AI, we can actually help them the best. And that's what this app is. So that's what Dr. Radhakant will be definitely detailing us about the SugarSight app, and all of you can see and how it can work best. We can use it for pre-diabetes, we can use it for diabetes, we can use it for type 1, type 2, pancreatic diabetes, all children, all patients, all adults, even the older people. We have so many geriatric population, especially in Bangalore, who are staying all alone, and their children are all worried staying abroad. What's happening to my father? What's happening to my mother? And with this app, they can actually have the alarm system and many more things, which they can do the monitoring sitting at a distance and actually coordinate with the doctor and help their parents as well. So I think it's going to come a long way, and it is going to make patients' life better, and obviously help the doctors to make the patient's quality of life better. Thank you.
It is now time to invite our Professor Dr. Radhakant Padi to present the vision, the science, and the journey behind SugarSight. Professor Radhakant Padi is a HEG professor and Professor Satish Dhawan Chair at IASC.
I'd like to need a mouse. Need a mouse. All right, thank you all, and good morning to all of you, both the dignitaries on the dais and all of you off the dais. We selected a particular day being Sunday so that you can spend some time with us, and thank you very much for coming, especially the doctors. Until Saturday they are so busy in OPD and all that, but Sundays probably we take a little liberty of that. I need a mouse actually. So while I get started with the presentation, I'll give you about 15-20 minutes, probably about 20 minutes presentation to see where we started, what we do, and especially about this particular app that we have done actually that way. So before that, as Dr. Pramila told, it was a surprise thing and for all of us also. In fact, a couple of my colleagues, seniors are also here. We are typically aerospace engineers, not really into healthcare, but then it happened to be some sort of a digression, but easy digression also basically. Put that PowerPoint, no? Where's the PowerPoint? Put that PowerPoint presentation and put the mouse on actually. So it started as some sort of a passion way back in 2000, by the way. Okay. Healthcare in control system technology in healthcare. That is when you talk about. It was accidental in the sense before they are getting ready. Just put it there. I don't need this. Leave it there. Done? You get that? Yes, in full slide. No, get that there. Duplicate. Don't get it. How do you get that actually? Good. All right, so this was very surprising to me in the sense 2000 we started, I was actually a graduate student in US, and then we went to American Control Conference. There was something like a one session break, some paper was not there, and typically in US they don't get that, this advancement and all that is not there because so many parallel sessions are there. So I was just sitting there and then walked to the next room, and there was a wonderful presentation for something called parturian paresis of cows and the milk fever of cows. So without the knowledge of my advisor, I tied up with the presenter who was also a master student at that time, and we actually led it to a publication which actually had a third best paper award in some of the IEEE conference. After that, the advisor knew at that point. So it started like that, and then it became a little bit cancer treatment. We have actually worked on auto drug delivery for cancer, multiple therapy and all that, immunotherapy and chemotherapy together. So PhD students have graduated, collaboration happened. Then I was looking for what else we can do, where actually the control system is not occasionally needed, but needed little bit longer time. So when the longer time came, and of course diabetes happens to catch our attention, because this is where 24/7 you need control system for those people who are not having type 1 diabetes basically. So these are wonderful problems. So let us talk about that. So slowly one thing led to other, and this is where we are right now. So we started around 2010, by the way. So I was looking for associate to full professor. Sometimes you need this publication for promotions also. That is how we started. And we actually had some publication. I'll show you that as well. And then by 2016-17, it took a very major boost. And then we talked about this imprint grant and all that. That is where this multi-party collaboration happened. And we very naturally we had to knock the door of Ramya, which is actually next door. And Dr. Mala was there that time. She is not able to come this today. But then with the Dr. Mala's leadership, Dr. Pramila and Dr. Chitra were also there in that point of time. And we continued the journey for 5 years, including 2 years of COVID. And I will tell a little bit of all that story in the afternoon talk. I invite all of you to come to the afternoon talk. Not now. Now is the time for up. So then on the part of the journey, we thought, okay, what else can we do, basically, right? So this is how it came, because we started looking at what people are doing. Because artificial pancreas, if at all I am alive, it will take another 5-7 years. It is not, we started in 2017, but I don't see anything before 2030 that we get into the public use. It is that much of a strenuous journey. And that entire thing I can talk to you, those of you interested, come to my talk in the afternoon, 3 to 4, basically. But we'll start that 2 o'clock session. Now in the journey, we thought about this app. Now a lot of people are doing that, and thanks to Abhishek, we figured it out where all things can go. And we started developing that side of the story as a spin-off. So when it happens to be a spin-off, then you take it to the public, and then how do you do that? We need a startup. So it all happens like in something, one thing leads to other and things like that. That is where we are today. So without too much of time wasted, let me get into this. This is what we named a SugarSight. And there are a lot of dilemma before you give a name. So a lot of restrictions, you cannot select a name that exists, you cannot select a name that others have taken, reserved and sort of thing. And it should also be meaningful, it should not have, all sort of things are there. Finally, we arrived at this. And then this is where we are talking about a very app bundle vehicle. It's not just an app, but app with a host of facilities and a host of services. That is what we call as app bundle. And then this is what you talk about as you go along. So again, for those of you who don't know me very well, I come from a control system background. And this is what you talk about, nonlinear, optimal, adaptive state estimation, all that. You talk about as part of the deal as control system. And believe me, artificial pancreas, when you talk about, all the things are used. All whatever you see, 4 or 5 things there, everything we are using for this particular problem. And going forward, IEEE has come up with some sort of a cover page article which talks about 10 best technologies of the century. And one of these is actually artificial pancreas, which can change the paradigm completely. Because diabetes is one thing related to everything, right? Related to eyes, brain, paralysis, all sort of problem, food problem, heart problem, all sort of things. So if you control diabetes, indirectly you are controlling almost everything actually. So anyway, going forward, again I'm telling you, I'm not a biologist. I have not taken biology in my high school also. When 11th or 12th also I have not taken biology. But you don't have to, because something called mathematical biology, that's where we are comfortable anyway. So again, just for repetition, this is all the things that you have done 20 years in our lab in IISc. And you can see a lot of things are actually in aerospace domain. So we can actually talk about missile system, laser pointing system, and then space missions, air vehicles, air traffic control, lots of things basically. So that is where our bread and butter, heart and other things live. And then we actually take part in defense missions, we take part in space missions. That's why both the dignitaries are here. They are all aware of our journey into the space and defense basically. But having said that, today's thing we are talking about, we are all meeting here for this offshoot called diabetes care. So again I tell you, as I told you, around 2009-10 we started looking into seriously, and it resulted in some sort of a publication in a good journal there too. And then that gave us this confidence that we can also contribute. These are some of these early things without knowing that we'll be arriving here basically today. So anyway, so let's come to diabetic, and both of them are told. It's actually an epidemic scale. There are so many people getting affected. And if I just want a little bit participation, you can just raise your hands if you or any of your family members is diabetic. All of you basically. So the whole entire auditorium will be like that. So there's nothing to think about it. Either that is how it is happening. So global scale also there. India has already some 10 plus crores people already affected, including me. That's also there. I'm also in the pills. But anyway, so current solutions, whatever solutions we need, we realize that it needs substantial improvement. And being from engineering, we cannot talk about biology aspect of it. We cannot talk about discovering a new insulin altogether. But we can certainly talk about increasing the efficiency of the insulin, existing insulin, through some sort of control theory, intelligent delivery basically. So that's what I'm talking about. So this is what you're talking about, diabetes management. You have currently a lot of these things are available. So doctors will tell you weight management, regular exercise you do, insulin therapy, dietary changes, also all these things are there. But we also realize that it also talks about patient adherence, because largely depends on patient to kind of follow that. And the hypoglycemic risk is also there. Burden for self-management is also there, and then also talk about variability in response. The response is not really good. In fact, even if you have something like insulin pump, people normally don't overdo. Don't do the right dose, fearing that they will put a high dose and then they go to hypoglycemia. They know that they need it, but then they don't put it because of this fear, and then they remain a little bit high sugar basically. So that these problems are also there. Now, when you come to technology of diabetes, largely you can categorize into 3 categories. First thing is, okay, how do you monitor the glucose? Of course, this glucose monitor has come. This one, most of you must be using it, called glucometer. A little pinch of blood, and then you can talk about it, and then immediately the point of care device gives you the number. And then off late it is a CGM, that's what this continuous glucose monitoring sensors, and that is becoming the lifeline. Every 5 minutes you are getting your sugar level, and hence you can see the trend as well. Now, insulin delivery systems started with pens. Insulin pens are not really that much of a painful, and that has gone to smart pen. Smart pen in the sense you can that Bluetooth enabled and all that. So if you take something, not only you know, but other person who have given permission, they can also know. So then these insulin pumps are there, and then you talk about closing the loop through the sensor and pump combination basically. Okay, then finally comes this digital health solutions, where people like us come very heavily. All these things are technology, by the way. So without engineers, these things are not possible. But then we thought, okay, why can't we contribute? We are anyway contributing this side of the story. Then why don't we contribute here? So then you talk about, coming to digital health solution, again you can talk about 2-3 things. Telehealth of diabetes, what Dr. Pramila told, they can talk consultancy in that. Then electronic health record, but finally mobile app integration as well. So that is what we latch onto that, and then talk about, we can do that or not. So summary of our contribution, you can say this is, first thing is insulin pens, and insulin, glucose monitoring devices, EGMs, pumps, and artificial pancreas, all that. So this is where we thought first 2 we cannot do, but last 3 we can certainly do something about. So we are actually designing an insulin pump, we are designing an artificial pancreas system, we are also designing some part of this telehealth solution, which is talking about this smart app basically. And okay, let's go further. And this is what this app is all about. I'll talk a little more about it in the next couple of slides. It is actually a kind of a wellness app you can think about. It's cloud integrated, and a lot of things are actually integrated into it. We'll talk more on that. And then insulin pump. This is our pump as of now. You can see this. Okay, this is our pump as of now. This is getting developed seriously in collaboration with Coimbatore Amrita University. Mr. Guruvarappan is here. The collaborator also is there. He is not able to come today. But this we are going to develop further and further and make it little more animal trials, human trials, all that are going to come. Basically, we are in the lab scale trial right now. All right, and then finally the artificial pancreas system. What is in a nutshell? Nutshell is, okay, if you take something, food or whatever, either glucose-rich food, then your blood sugar rises almost immediately. And then there is some sensor in God has given in some blood sensing or whatever. It goes to the brain, and the brain gives the signal how much has to decrease. Very fantastic control system, by the way. The brain actually decides, because you had taken this so much of sweet today, you need more insulin. Actually, it decreases that. That is why it doesn't grow, doesn't rise. If you do not take, if you do fasting, by the way, the opposite hormone comes. Something called glucagon basically. So that is also there. So it's a very good, fantastic control system. But what happens, if there is a partial failure, we call it type 2. If there is a complete failure, we call it type 1. And what happens in complete failure? It goes back, and then we can replace with that. So this is a God-given thing. We want to mimic a little bit with this system. So you have got a sensor, you have got a phone, this kind of a control algorithm, and then finally gives to this pump, which is actually actuator. So sensor, actuator, was algorithm. So that completes the loop of a control system basically. That's how it is. So more on that in the afternoon talk. We'll not talk about it here. So now coming to the app part of it, this is actually what our core team, all of them are here. And then they are also, so we are also supported by Dr. Raspal as well as Dr. Nilaki Tanima, who is also telling you a little bit here. And there are various roles. And then continuing further, we will also develop this team more and more. So now what is this cloud-based IoT solution? Of course, central part is actually the Amazon Web Service, AWS Cloud. And that is integrated to doctors, and those doctors who are willing to give service through us. They will also not anybody. We will have to take some checks, cross-checking also there. So they are willing to give their license number and things like that way. And then once they are on board, a lot of patients can take advantage of it. We are talking about thousands actually. So when you talk about 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, can they take advantage of it? All of them need not subscribe to it. There will be some sort of a free service as well. And then only those that facilities which will consume little bit of high-end thing, only that part they will take, they have to pay for us. Little bit very marginal thing. We'll talk about that also, very competitive thing anyway. And then there are caregivers. Caregivers is, suppose you are here, you are diabetic, or your parent is diabetic, you are not able to come, you are somewhere else in some other part of the country, city, or even other part of the world. You have NRIs especially. So then they can even think about, okay, how do I know what's happening? Because parents are getting old, they don't know how to do it, but at least can I get that alert, whatever alert you are talking? Yes, it is possible nowadays. So you get into the cloud, and cloud with permission, it is going to alert the other side as well. So then we are also thinking about some sort of a geriatric wing where you talk about few people will be there physically, they will call them and then find out what's happening. So that's in the pipeline basically. But everything is supported by service providers as well. We have teamed up with Tata 1mg, we have teamed up with Orange Health, we have teamed up with all these people who will actually come to your home to take your sample or deliver the medicine as well. So the those immobile people or those unwilling people for whatever reason, they don't have to go to hospital. In fact, hospital comes to the home actually in some sense. And in fact, hospital comes to home, medicine center comes to home, diagnostic center comes to home, everything comes to home, you see that way. So then also we talk about that only 3 to 4 million people are actually using the thing, whereas 100 million people can actually take advantage of it. So there is a lot of scope for doing this kind of thing. Now what is the architecture we have used? We have used this AWS based. Now Flutter is the front end, and then Node.js is the back end. And we could talk about Amazon DynamoDB, the database actually. That is very secured and all that. By default it is secured, and we have put lot more security into it by design basically. We'll talk about that. And then you talk about this can have smart glucose monitoring, it can have alert system, it can track meals, insulin, exercise, it can have digital health records that you can see it yourself, all sort of thing that way. And you have real-time cloud sharing that I just explained, and exercise integration already done. You know, this Google Health and Apple Fit and all that kind of thing basically. All right, so services, you can now, as Dr. Pramila told, you have doctor appointment, medicine store, lab test, log your busy meter data, log your insulin data, track your meals. You can share the meal picture with the doctors. And going forward, we are working on the AI part of it. Even if you talk like what I'm eating, then probably it will figure it out how much sugar and how much calorie you are eating. That will be recorded, and that input will go to closed loop insulin delivery. So where it can, that will be very helpful for deciding the insulin dose as well basically. That's how it is. Right now we have partnered with Tata 1mg for both diagnosis as well as medicine delivery. Orange Health only for diagnosis, and PathSouth is there, Dr. Vinay here, for glucometer part of it. It's also a smart glucometer where you can use, the moment you take it, the data will go directly to the app actually. So that is there. So the services you have actually followed, after a lot of debate, you have followed something called microservices ecosystem, which these are something that I am also keep on consistently learning. So essentially the whole idea is there is API gateway, there are these client apps, and then there are a host of services which almost operate independently. That means if one service is down, the entire app is not down, only that part is down. Rest of the things will operate basically. So that is this microservice architecture, and everything is kind of integrated to database basically. And then, okay, I don't want to talk about it. Just to tell you that this architecture was very carefully designed. A lot of things has gone into that. And once you're there, user entry point, don't feel so bad. It is actually, we are making sure that the security is very, very tight. And then figures, this is, okay, another unique feature. In the process of artificial pancreas, we thought, okay, unless your blood glucose data is very accurate, then your insulin dose will also goes inaccurate, because that is your very, and this blood glucose data has to be IV data. It should not be like sensor data or something outside. So in the process of analysis, we figured it out. There are three major errors of the CGM. And the three major errors are typically, this time delay, bias, scale factor, all that typically what you do in aerospace. Those things we have figured it out a way to kind of compensate for that insulin, that patient CGM pair. In other words, the moment you keep buying your CGM, every 2 weeks you have to replace anyway, but one time you have to do this, about 5-6 times finger pricks, and then enter the time and enter the data, then all these errors will be compensated. Rest of the 12-13 days you don't have to do anything. Whatever you read in our app will be very, very close to the busy meter data. So you don't have to prick it again. I challenge you to go back, do it, the calibration, and then do the testing afterwards and tell us the data. We have done user trials, and then some of them can share their experience. The accuracy improvement is very, very high. In fact, the errors are very, very small after that. So this is one of the pictures that if you don't do this process, this is what your sensor will tell, this is your IV data, but if you really do the sensor calibration, you see how close they are actually. So this is the part of that is most of the people are not probably not doing that, because also comes with 5-6 times of finger prick. I mean that is actually the penalty, but once you do that, for rest of the time you can read your sugar very accurately. Now benefits to the patient, there are so many benefits, I will not explain too much. This accurate glucose tracking, improved HbA1c, dietary tracking, medicine reminders are there, activity tracking is also there, how much exercise, all the things what you are doing, and there are a host of things that the patient can take benefit out. And first thing is caregiver support. That means you not only have one caregiver, you can actually give up to 3 caregivers. That is how it is. Not only what, but depends on mutual consent. I mean consent basically. And then sensor accuracy that I just explained. These are something that you don't get normally in other competitors basically. Doctors, well, there's a host of advantage again. So we actually have come up with a web-based application where doctors can see a list of patients, and then each of the patients they can amplify, they can see what's the record going on, and then at a time they can treat many more patients with a limited time available. That's the whole idea there, and doctors will also get reminders, and if any doctor wants to become a caregiver for any particular patient, for a criticality point of view, they can also become a caregiver. So the alert and other things will come to them as well. So all these things are built into this. And then of course you have got these multiple roles. One person can become patient, caregiver, doctor, all the things possible, all the 3 roles, depending on what you want to do. And then in-app analysis is there. Once in a while you can do all your analysis based on the blood sugar. In fact, we found out a heuristic formula which actually history of blood glucose kind of correlate to your HbA1c. So HbA1c data is estimated and then that is shown to you also basically. In the app it is there available. And then there is some chart integrated. So we are now talking about WebMD based chart basically. So I can put a query and then some analysis will come. Going forward, we will actually improve this to ChatGPT and other AI systems basically. Then this is all that, so logging, intelligence, reward, appointment. So okay, also we have a reward system. Suppose you are able to maintain your blood sugar very well after taking our app, then we will get a reward, and that reward can be case reward also. In other words, you can buy your sensors and other things utilizing that points, reward points actually. So we do that way. And then appointments, video consultation, we can do all sort of things. And then data privacy. There are so many data privacy issues that we have to analyze. So you can see that no unauthorized access, end-to-end encryption. There are something like you go to a bank locker. Bank locker have 2 keys, right? One is with you, one is the bank. Unless the 2 keys are there, you cannot open it. Similarly, we talk about not only the data will go to server, but that will go to encryption key, and encryption key will go in 2 parts. So these 2 parts will be combined other side, and then only you can open the data basically. So normally, even if somebody gets one part of the encryption key and your data, still they will not be able to see it actually. So they will be able to see only if all these things. These are all their part of the things. Then logging, monitoring, so service denial, and then so all these things that you to see here. SSL certificate security is there. Okay, so there cannot be like code, you cannot take it out. Many things are there as part of that. And thanks for our team. Cassis and Alan. So there's a backend something there. So they've been struggled day and night to make it happen basically. And also with the guidance of Dr. Abhijit, who is also there somewhere, I have not seen him, but he's there probably. So uniqueness of our app, if you compare, there are other people, so whatever is not there, we are trying to kind of do something here so that at least a lot more benefit will come basically. So that is what you are talking about. And this is one slide, you can see the comparison. We have compared with Vito, Peterfly, Tomatoes, MySugar, Glimpse, all sort of things that are available. But you can see these are the things that you are talking about in the left hand side. These are something that is required, and we almost targeted this one also to be tick mark. Partial work is done. See, essentially talks about this AI based estimation of sugar and calorie. Almost there, but we want to have little more accuracy, then we get into the app basically. So that accuracy improvement is going on right now. So of course there is a small video for about a minute. Let us see that and then go move further. Oh.
Vishvasys Technologies brings you SugarSight, simplifying diabetes with technology and care. It is the app that adapts to everyone. You can scan your sensor and the app handles your data instantly and accurately. You can book an appointment in seconds, choose a doctor, pick a time and get a reminder. You can easily log your data all from one place. SugarSight keeps your day in check. You can also get rewarded for taking charge of your diabetes. Curious about something? Ask SugarSight gives fast and verified information. Need medicines or lab test? Do it in seconds with our trusted partners right from the app. You can add a caregiver, share access, and keep them alerted when it matters. We welcome you to explore more with SugarSight.
All right, thank you. Then this is this little bit longer version, 10 minutes version is 5 minutes certainly. This is just about a minute. 5-6 minute video will be available. We'll keep that in the folder from where you can download also. You can see that there, and along with user manual, this video instructions, all that, how to install and all that will be available there. This and then this is the version 1. Coming to version 2, we are also talking about many more things. So this is anyway there. Then smart watch display can happen. You don't have to see your phone. You can see it in your watch as well. You can see some exercise predictions are happening. Smart pen integration, that's also coming up. Smart glucometer, you have done it, but pen you have not done it, is coming up. Then some insulin estimate also will be there, like that. So there, one more version will come about say 5-6 months later. We'll have all this capability basically. Then coming very soon, this is what you are talking about. I already told about it. There is a little bit of, see, we are almost there with prediction alert system. In other words, we can actually go ahead and predict about half an hour what will happen. But there are regulation issues. Unless you certify that, you cannot put it actually. So that's why you are kind of holding back that, okay, we will have to go through that process and then only you can put it. So there are issues like that. Because what happens is if you predict wrongly and that the other person takes actually believes you and takes the insulin that way and then something wrong happens, then who is liable basically that way. So this issue needs to be addressed basically that way. But algorithms are available and we have tested in a limited sense that we can actually do that. And then you talk, this is our affordable insulin pump, but you see it here. And this will be certainly my promise here, all of you, but it will be less than 1 lakh rupees. And the current things are actually what you pay is about 3 lakhs plus. Right now you pay for 3 lakhs plus, and just because you are paying 1 lakh, believe me, nothing of that quality will be compromised. Quality will be as good as what you see the other things basically. And going forward, because it's our own insulin pump, we can actually do that Bluetooth communication directly ourselves. And there are CGMs available now from Indians also. We don't have to really rely too much into the foreign CGMs. We are in touch with some people, so you can actually take the data and make a artificial pancreas directly, bypassing the phone also. Phone will be just there to see the things, but phone will not compute your algorithm. There is also this security issues when you phone integrated things are there. So it will be independent for that, and that is what is coming up. Within probably about a year or two, we should be able to integrate that, but certifying the system will take some time. And you have to do host of studies. You have to do where you do, what you do, whether the center that you test is actually government authorized or not, how many tests they have done, what are the inference, what improvement you have done. All these questions has to be addressed before you go to this drug control authority and get it certified. That will take some time. So then we are on the journey. There's a very fantastic set of advisors. Dr. V. Mohan is everybody probably know about it. He's a well-known diabetologist, as Padma Shri Award as well. And today he is not able to come because the 100th birth anniversary of Lord Sai Baba is going on. And that is where he is a very devotee of that as well. So we also, in that sense, we have also selected a good date for that way. So anyway, so this is Dr. Pramila Karla. She is also very helpful, and we are very fortunate to have Dr. Ananda and Rita Basu. They are the ones which are behind the artificial pancreas system of US actually. They were there in Mayo Clinic for a long time, then went to Virginia, down there in Alabama, and then they are very passionately guiding us for our clinical trial procedures. There, see, it's very easy to learn from others' mistake. You don't have to do your own mistake, so they can figure it out that, oh, don't do this, we have suffered it, don't do that, and do this way it will happen. So very shortcut, and once or twice trial we will be able to do it actually. So I was just following their advice there. And of course, Dr. Saurabh could not come here. There's he's also part of the team from Delhi. And Dr. Abhijit has been very helpful for all the software architecture. His entire life is software. He's BTech, MTech, PhD from IIC. So he's also still working with a lot of startup companies. And then in fact, 2 times we devised the architecture based on his comments actually, both front end, back end and everything. Now it is very, very robust and very efficient as well. So other people, Dr. Menon has been fortunate to work with Dr. Kalam directly. And then one of his favorite scientists in ISRO. Then he is very established in US. So he is an advisor role. Dr. Bipin Nair is developing this, the insulin pump, and it will come to us. He is also part of our company already. Dr. D.N. Rao has been a very, he is actually vice president of Centurion University, but other than that, he is very industrialist person also. So a lot of industry connections, a lot of small scale industry and all that is there in that. So he is unable to come because he himself is suffering from diabetes and his sugar is fluctuating very high. That's why he is not able to come. So anyway, so inaugurated by Dr. Samana today. So this is our company. This is little space that we got today. Not that the company was incorporated 2 years back, but from tomorrow onwards we will start operating from there as well. And of course, we conducted user trials. There are some of the user trials. Professor K. R. Ramakrishnan must be here somewhere. He is there, and he is part of it. Dr. She will also talk to you. Pravina Muthu, she is a wife of a faculty here, mathematical faculty. And my own wife has taken participants. She is also part of the diabetes thing. I also put my own sensor to see what is going on. Yes, then we have collectively kind of put it together. And also we had this Delhi people as well. Thanks to Dr. Aspal, some 5-6 people in Delhi also did. Few of them have actually participated, gave lot of feedback. So last 1 week, 2 week has been kind of a very marathon journey. So figure out, fix it out. And then one other thing that we observed was continuous data loss. And the data loss was actually addressed, and then it is now fast connecting data loss has been there. But some other issues are all there. It's not that it is very perfect. We'll claim that as some 85-90% perfect. We'll still continue to develop it further and further so that people will get there. So this is the, those of you want to take a picture, you can do it. This is the QR code using which you can download everything. You can download that app APK file where you can install. Right now it is Android only, on the iOS is not there yet. But then you can actually download from tomorrow. Okay, we'll keep all the files today. That APK file, there is some little bit of issue there in the sense we have to put an expiry date on that. We'll be very honest about it. So after some expiry date, we have to go for subscription mode. The mode that what we are telling is, well, this is free until 31st January, so almost like two months plus. Otherwise, it is also free. Whenever you download, for about a month it will be free. Right now, if you see all the apps, they give you about a week or two. But we decided now we will not give week or two. We'll give a complete 1 month. So if somebody wants it, they can test 2 sensor cycles. So that then they can take or not take. So current launch is like that. This is our QR code. See, not only our app will be available, but the video instructions will be available. Your user manual will be available. There's all these instructions or whatever information things will be available. Some 5-6 files will be available. And we are in touch with Google Play Store. There's the issue of there are some coding changes they want. So exactly they have not approved us yet, even though we are struggling with them for about a month now. So about every day they are giving some instruction. Finally, they have given a set of programming change that will do it and upload to Google. And then people can download from the Google Play Store, and going forward, Apple App Store also will happen basically. So that is what it is. Now going forward, this is this pre-glucometer. Today we are actually, those of you want to buy, we have got in touch with some, this Pathsod. And then all this freestyle, this is our sensor by the way. Right now our app is integrated only to this sensor. But we are also in touch with 3-4 other sensors. So this will be a drop-down list where you can talk about Chinese sensor, Indian sensor, this is US sensor, all that is possible. And that we are in development mode. And on sale, that is not about making any profit. In fact, we are giving discount actually. Those of you want to try out, suppose this app is very good with this sensor. Now, every sensor we cannot give free because it costs so much of money. This startup is struggling also. We are looking forward to investors, but right now is nothing there. So, a couple of angel investors are there. One of them is here, but then not really too much investment. So, we are talking about it. In fact, maybe we will get some 5-6 crores somewhere. Then there is a government grant which will match you 70% more. Things like that. We are exploring all possibilities basically. So then you can do the journey there. But this is not to do any profit. Don't take me otherwise. It is just that we are launching today. So something should be there other people, and we are simply giving you discount at the cost of some little money to the company. So we are not getting any profit at all actually here. All right. So that's my presentation. Thank you all. This is okay. And this is a very good, comprehensive, multidisciplinary team to make in India diabetes care. You can say that way. So we are part of us here. And all this team, this is from Delhi, Noida. This is from Chennai, father and daughter combination. And Dr. Pramila and Dr. Chitra are here. And then Amrita University, Coimbatore. And then all the way from US as well. So with this, probably I will stop here and then continue the program further. Thank you very much.
For too long, managing diabetes has felt like navigating alone in the dark. But today, we introduce a solution born from this vision, a platform that sees beyond numbers to the person behind them, an intelligent companion that provides personalized insights, timely reminders, and genuine support. It's time to unveil the name that embodies this promise. I request our honorable chief guest, our special guests, and other dignitaries on the dais to officially launch SugarSight, your vision for better diabetes care. SugarSight isn't just an app.
1 second, sir. Before we talk further, I think I will invite again Dr. Jagannath Nayak and Professor Raghunandan to come here, join our thing. And 1 or 2 people I will also invite a little bit more. Okay, who have been very helpful. Professor Ramakrishnan maybe. Can you come here? It's okay. And Pravina Muthu, Pravina here. Yeah, come here. No, you have been very helpful. Your suggestions have been very helpful. And I mean, okay, come over here. Maybe the second director, the company, second director, she is there. I mean, she is not actively taking part, but she is also part of the company. So, okay.
SugarSight isn't just an app, it's a movement towards healthier, empowered living. Together, we are creating a future where diabetes doesn't limit potential, it awakens it. Thank you, sir, for this powerful vision. SugarSight truly reflects IISC's legacy of innovation. As Sir C.V. Raman said, the true wealth of a nation lies in the scientific spirit of its people. Today, that spirit stands proudly on this stage. Moving further, to help you understand how SugarSight makes care intuitive and accessible, we begin with the front-end demo. I would like to invite Abhishek to take us through it.
Stop share the screen. Join mod. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I'll just walk you through briefly how the app looks and what are the functionalities. So this is the home page. So this is connected to Alan's sensor right now. So we are getting data every 5 minutes from the CGM through Bluetooth. So if you want to improve your sense accuracy, we just calibrate it based on glucometer values. So this is how you calibrate the sensor. So the steps recommended for calibration will also mention here. What kind of is typically done during a meal cycle. So around 5 to 7 values are taken. So at 20-minute intervals. Suppose you start the calibration just before breakfast, you just take one reading before breakfast, and then every 20 minutes after that, enter 5 values to the app. So what happens is the calibration algorithm will just take these values as a reference, and then from here onwards, it will be matching the blood glucose data and not what the sensor is measuring. So you just enter whatever date you took the values at. So you can even enter the past values as well. Suppose you noted down glucometer values like 2 days ago or yesterday. You can just select that date and then enter those calibration values. Just note down the time and the value at which the glucometer shows you. And then you enter 5 such values and press the calibrate button. reports feature. So what it does is it compiles all the information that you have in the app, including the total carbohydrate intake, medications you've taken, the exercise you've done. Based on that, it'll give you a score. Based on that score, we give you reward points and loyalty points. So at the end of it, if you collect like enough number of points, you get a free CGM or you get a free doctor's appointment. That's a reward system that we have integrated into the app. So it's already integrated to both Google Fit and Apple Health. So if you have a smartwatch with you, it'll take it'll take the heart rate values and the step count values into the app directly. Coming to the last part, the services part, here you can book a doctor's appointment directly. So the doctor can give their own timing and schedule. Based on that timing, you can just schedule a doctor's appointment and have a video consultation with the doctor. We're also including diabetologists and nutritionists for helping people manage their diets. And the second feature is like we are currently allowing patients to order medication off the app. We've integrated with Tata 1mg, so it will directly link to Tata 1mg, and then you can just book your medication based on the prescriptions. And similarly, we can also book blood tests from both Tata 1mg and Orange Health. We also have integrated into a smart glucometer, so with the sir had showed before. So what it does is we just enter the glucometer strip into the device. If you enter the glucometer strip into the device, it will automatically pick the value from the glucometer. You don't have to enter any values. So if there are 5 values, it will take those values automatically. And you can also add a caregiver to live stream your data to them. Suppose the patient is a diabetic child or an elderly person, they'll get a real-time alert. The caregiver will get a real-time alert when the patient's glucose levels are going into hypo or hyperglycemia. So you just add them through their email ID or phone number. And finally, we also allow patients to upload their medical reports and lab tests and past prescriptions for doctor's references so that they can get to know about the patient's history. We are also having a logging feature where the patient can keep track of what insulin doses and what medication they're taking, and then you can correlate that with your glucose values. So if you look at the reports part here, I'll just go to a past report. So this is yesterday's data, what is the time and range, what is average HbA1c. So if you enter the medication and insulin doses, you can correlate that with how it worked for the patient that particular day. And finally, we also have an AI chatbot that can grab information from WebMD so that it's only reliable information, and it will give you information about diabetes management specifically. So these are all the features of the app. If you can have any questions, you can talk to me after the meeting, and then I'll discuss with you.
Thank you, Abhishek, for this insightful presentation on the front end part of the SugarSight. Now, it's time to acknowledge those people who work tirelessly to bring the SugarSight app to life. Today, we take a moment to appreciate these people who made this launch possible. First, I would like to invite Abhishek Chandrasekhar, CEO of Vishvasys Tech, who carries this vision, and today he has made it possible. To do the honors, I would like to invite our esteemed dignitary Dr. Binay K. Das on stage. Our next team member is Divya Saini, software quality assurance engineer, who ensures the app is reliable, stable, and ready for our users. I would like to invite Dr. Shrikant to do the honors. Now, it's time for our developers who showed relentless dedication for developing the app. I invite Ellen Jose, who made SugarSight smooth, intuitive, and user-friendly. To do the honors, I would like to invite our esteemed dignitary, Dr. Somnath, on stage. Our next developer is Kashish Soni, who is the backbone of this app, ensuring the system is strong and scalable. I would like to invite Dr. Pramila to please come forward for the felicitation. Last but not the least, I would like to invite Mr. Guru Vayuruppan, who is actively involved with us for developing insulin pumped from the scratch with Amrita University. And I would like to request Professor Padi to do the honors.
नमस्कार। मैं
Now it's time to move forward. So our next speaker is Dr. JP Mishra. Although he couldn't be physically present with us today, but he has shared a special recorded message for the SugarSight app launch event. Before that, I would like to give a small introduction about him. He is a highly respected and renowned diabetes specialist based in the sacred city of Varanasi, a place known for its spiritual depth and timeless wisdom. Blending clinical excellence with human warmth, Dr. Mishra has emerged as a beacon of hope for thousands of individuals living with diabetes, especially children and adolescents facing the challenges of lifelong care. He is widely admired for his patient centric approach. Over the years, Dr. Mishra has played a pivotal role in transforming the lives of people with diabetes.
डॉक्टर जेपी मिश्रा बनारस से सुगर साइट ऐप के लॉन्च दिवस की आप सबको हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं और अपने बधाई संदेश देता हूं। मैं वहां नहीं आ पाया ससरी, लेकिन भावनात्मक रूप से मैं वही हूं। इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ साइंस बेंगलोर के प्रतिष्ठान के जुड़े हुए समस्त वैज्ञानिक व प्रोफेसर राधाकांत पादी जी वाकई बधाई के पात्र हैं। इसका मूल कारण यह है कि डायबिटीज कंट्रोल में सुगर साइट ऐप आने वाले समय में एक मील का पत्थर साबित होगा। इसके पीछे 3 मौलिक कारण हैं। अपने रोज के प्रैक्टिस के अनुभव में हमने देखा है कि डायबिटीज एक क्रॉनिक डिसऑर्डर है जिसमें रोगी का डिसइंटरेस्ट हो जाता है, खर्च भी ज्यादा होता है और रोज वही फास्टिंग पी कभी मालूम चला बढ़ गया, कभी घट गया, तो रोगी डिसइंटरेस्ट की भावना से आता है, आगे चल के क्रॉनिक डिसऑर्डर के कारण डिप्रेशन में भी चला जाता है। उसका मोटिवेशन नहीं हो पाता है, उसको प्रेरणा नहीं मिल पाती है कि हम अपने ब्लड शुगर को कैसे अच्छा कंट्रोल करें। कई बार डॉक्टर से अपनी बातें खोल के कह नहीं पाता, इवन एजुकेटर से भी नहीं कह पाता, रोज वही बात कहते सुनते तो थक जाता है। सुगर साइट ऐप की 3 बहुत खूबी है। पहला, डिजिटल हेल्थ रिकॉर्ड रखेगा। जब डिजिटल हेल्थ रिकॉर्ड रखेगा सुगर साइट ऐप, उससे फायदा डॉक्टर को भी होगा, ड्रग की मॉनिटरिंग में मदद मिलेगी, प्लस पेशेंट को मोटिवेट करने में भी डॉक्टर को बहुत सफलता मिलेगी। दूसरा, ये मील को भी ट्रैक करेगा, एक्सरसाइज को भी ट्रैक करेगा, इंसुलिन को भी ट्रैक करेगा। उससे सबसे बड़ा फायदा क्या होगा, जो मिसिंग ऑफ डोज है, मिसिंग ऑफ एक्सरसाइज है, मिसिंग ऑफ मील है, प्लस एक पेशेंट को भी लगेगा कि हमने क्या खाया कि मेरा शुगर इतना बढ़ गया, हमारा शुगर हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया में हम गए क्यों, तो हमने मील मिस किया, मील कंटेंट में क्या कमी थी, मील का साइज में क्या कमी थी। वो सारी बातें पेशेंट जब खुद सोचना शुरू करेगा, उसको एक प्रेरणा मिलेगी और इससे बेहतर उसका डायबिटीज कंट्रोल होगा। तीसरा, सबसे बड़ी ब्यूटी इसकी है कि ये ऐप इतना आसान है, इतना इंटीग्रेटेड है, जिसे एक सामान्य व्यक्ति भी समझ सकता है और उपयोग कर सकता है। पुनः आप सबको मेरी ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं और ईश्वर से प्रार्थना है, बाबा भोलेनाथ से प्रार्थना है कि यह शुगर साइट ऐप डायबिटीज रोगियों के बेहतर शुगर कंट्रोल में, उनके स्पाइक को रोकने में, उनके हाइपो और हाइपर के कंट्रोल में एक इतना बड़ा योगदान दे कि उनके जीवन को हम बेहतर कर सके और उनके जो ट्रीटमेंट की कॉस्ट है उसको भी हम बहुत कम कर सकेंगे। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं आप सबको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। नमस्कार।
Thank you, sir. To bring in a human perspective, we invite Mrs. Praveena Muthu, an active user of SugarSight, to share her experience. Mrs. Praveena Muthu is the wife of our esteemed mathematics faculty member, a dedicated educator herself, and an active user of SugarSight. We are delighted to have her with us on the stage today.
Yeah, good morning all. As she told, myself Pravina, and I have been living with this type 1 diabetes for the past 27 years. Um, Now I'm 44 years and it started around 17 years. So I have been living this and I started using glucometers maybe some 23, 25 years ago. I started using sensors recently, that is maybe 1 year. But uh, I had luck to be a neighbor also of Dr. Radhakant Padi, that from the initial stage of this starting of this itself, I have been a part of this journey. Being a part of that, just I'm nothing contribute much, but still I can be a part of that. And when I started using this myself, and I have this with me now, and what I saw with this is that I have used other sensors too. Two sensors I have used, Libre I have used, Links I have used. But with this app, what I saw is that it seems to be accurate to the glucometer values. Once we do the calibration, seriously I'm telling, I even get within the difference of 10. It's actually once I got same value also, that I don't know whether it should happen or not, but I got same value also. So that is actually very, very, very highly appreciated, and that is the first point I noted. The second thing is that we will get the previous day's value. I mean, CGM values will be noted in this app. There will be a lot of CGM values which we can view on the previous days, giving the dates. We can see all the days data, and um, the all the apps have different features. I mean, Links may have one feature, all the different types. They have shown many apps, no? They have different features. But in this app, our sugar site, everything has combined together, which is a very good thing that we don't have to use different apps for different things. We have got now everything combined, which is very helpful for people like me who are suffering with type 1. I never said suffering, I'm having type 1, that's it. So, and the next thing is that this is very user friendly. I don't have to be a great thinking person to how to use this. I just can use this. Then the next thing I noted is that I always tend to forget, or not always, sometimes tend to forget that whether I have taken my insulin before food or not, and I used to think. But in this app, even I can what? I can note that whether at the time when I have taken the insulin, I can just note it. And we can see that all the medicines we have, there is a medication tracker here. So we can just see, have I taken or not? So which is a very good help to me. I'm sure if it's of good help to me, all the type 1s, not only type 1s, type 2s, everyone, it will be a very good help for everyone, for people like me. So now, since I had the chance to interact with the team, I had the chance to interact with the team. I can confidently say that this is an excellent team, and of course under Dr. Radhakant Padhi, and they will keep on improving, I'm sure. They will keep on improving the app, and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We now welcome Professor Raghunandan for their remarks. Professor B.N. Raghunandan is a veteran aerospace scientist and chair of Aerospace Department, retired as Dean of IISc, where he served for nearly 4 decades and taught both Professor Padi and Dr. Somnath. An alumnus of IIT Bombay and IISc, he held the prestigious Satish Dhawan Chair Professorship and has been a visiting scientist at Imperial College of London and Hosei University, Tokyo. With over 250 publications and major research awards, he has mentored generations of aerospace engineers.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Padi, for asking me to be here today. And the dignitaries of the dais and off the dais. I asked myself, why am I here to speak today? I never knew that being diabetic is also a qualification to speak on some occasions. Number two, I know that it's actually the regard that Professor Padi, Somnath and others have towards their teachers. I'm grateful to them. I'm proud of them. So, what is my story about diabetes? I'm actually type 2 diabetic. My sugar level was very low in the year, say the reading was around 2006 or so. Then I was feeling fine. But then it's only around 2010, my children insisted that after completing my chairman's term, said, you have gone through a lot of tension, why don't you really go and have a checkup? That's when I went for a sugar checkup. In the blood test was prescribed, and then the report came, and then actually all the parameters were in red with a star and says, drawing a doctor's attention, almost like how am I really be alive at those conditions. It was really very alarming. So the doctor said, you must go for insulin immediately. So I pleaded, saying that, look, I have led a life which was somewhat carefree. I will try to follow some rigorous exercise and so on. Now it's in 2010 to 2014, I did not take any medicine, although it was quite bad. I started taking regular walks and also started dieting. In the sense, I stopped taking sugar, sweets, and no sugar in my beverages. I think it was dieting and the exercise for about 4 years, 3 to 4 years, brought down my sugar level. It was what was at the time 2010, HbA1c was around 8.8 or something. It came down to 7 in that period. A little later, it started rising again. And the doctor said, see, at that point of time, I really did not have the sort of tension, or nor did I have any problem with food. But I was genetically disposed for such a happening, because my father was a diabetic, my grandfather was a diabetic, my sisters were diabetic, my brothers were diabetic. So I knew that. So the doctor said that, look, you have other problems, not just the food and the lack of exercise. He said, you must start taking medicines. So I think it's in around 2014, I think he prescribed 250 mg of glycomet. Is that the right medicine? Glycomet. And then it started coming down again.
again, after about 3-4 years, after coming to about 6.8, it started rising again. And the doctor said, you must go for 500 mg twice a day. Controlled it for about another 3-4 years. Again, you see, at that point of time, I was dieting. I was going to a fairly diligent exercise, walking and so on. And I was taking medicine. In spite of all of it, my sugar level was going up. It is at that time, the doctor, my physician, asked me to see an endocrinologist who actually comes to Indian Institute of Science from Ramaya College, I'm told. He came in, then he tested me, he went through the test, and then he changed the medicines. I can't remember. Verifica is a name which sounds familiar. So he said, you should take this medicine. And also he prescribed a thinner, blood thinner, and also B complex. He said, all these three you should take simultaneously and then continue for, he asked me to see him after about 3 months. After that, the HbA1c, that level had come down. He asked me to see him. He said, you're fine, you come after 6 months. So actually, at that point of time, it had come down to a level something close to about 6.9 or 7. And then I'm just continuing that medicine, going through the exercise, dieting as possible. And then he told me just about 2 weeks ago, he told me, it was around 7.2 or something close to that. It is fluctuating between 6.8 and 7.3 in the last 4-5 years. And he asked me what my age was. He said, I'm 76. He said, don't bother, it's fine. For your age, if you just maintain at this, it's good enough. Don't change medicines, just keep doing whatever you. That's my story of diabetes. Now, I said that I happen to be here because I met Dr. Padi while in the Institute Health Center. He was giving sugar, the blood test. I said, why are you giving it? He said it's a pre-diabetic, but now from hindsight, I think that he was trying to collect data for his software app. I think that's what he was doing at that time. I must say that my knowledge of biology, anatomy is all very poor. We all studied at that time, except human digestive system. We did not know anything about all this. It's only the old age you start learning about your body, your diseases, your medicines. They're all new for us. And I only see that aerospace engineers have a talent. How many here in the audience, Dr. Chetty, Professor Ghosh, and all this Somnath and Padi here. It's an aerospace department actually teaches you to be interdisciplinary. It's a systemic knowledge that gives. You can actually solve many problems, nothing to do with aeronautical engineers. I'm very glad that one of those talents has today brought up a new app as a SugarSight, and I'm sure it's going to be very useful. At the time I started taking my blood test, for some time I used to maintain a chart on a graph paper and making what my sugar level was, and I'm sure in future nobody will do that. They will use the app and go through all of it, and I do hope you will find that doctors' visits will come down because you can monitor yourself. My best wishes to Professor Padi and all other collaborators who have made an excellent app today, and I wish them all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Jagannath Nayak. Dr. Jagannath Nayak is a distinguished scientist and the director of the Center for High Energy System and Services at DRDO, an alumnus of IIC Bangalore. He has served India's defense sector since 1992, most notably leading the indigenous development of fiber optic gyroscopes, a recipient of Agni Excellence Award, and a fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. Dr. Nayak is a recognized authority bridging the fields of high energy laser systems and advanced computational intelligence. I welcome you, sir.
Respected Das sir,
and former chairman ISRO, and all distinguished doctors, professors, student, founder of the SugarSight, and the well-wisher here. Very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, let me thank Professor Padi that inviting me here, and I congratulate Professor Padi, Madam Padi, all the family members and the people who believe Professor Padi that this product can come. That is, I congratulate all of you. And my association with Professor Padi is more than 30 years. We are both students here. He was in aerospace engineering, I was in electrical communication engineering department. And I knew him long, and he also joined with me DRDO. He stayed back 1 year. After that, he left DRDO, went to US, came back, then our friendship also grown. So this is how it is. But I came to him when he was in aerospace department to solve one of my problem, that is a control related problem, that autopilot of UAV, how to disable. That was my problem statement. But today I could see he is now enabling the autopilot to solve the diabetic problems. So that is the beauty of. But the first instant when 2016 or 17, when he came and explained me the problem, so I listened him, but he is also a good psychologist. He understood that I am not interested to know, because I did not believe that he can make it. So in between also he told me several times. I just passively listened that okay. But my interest was just to see how to disable my autopilot. So he explained me how to enable and do the diabetes control. So that is how he did, but I am very happy to see. And 1 week back he called me and told me that product is launched. So I was just surprised, but still I was very happy and fortunate to be here and to be part. He is a good friend of mine, and to be part of this innovative product. And as you know that Professor Raghunandan have already told that what is the aerospace engineer can be done. And from my family, half of them are doctors. I do not understand the doctor part. Some days back, my daughter came over here to, she is a MBBS student, but she wanted to do some research. She came to IAEC. I was questioning my wife, she is also gynecologist. She was questioning why you want to do doctor job is not to do the research. So, but somehow we could not resist his persistence, and we allowed her to come for 1 month here. And sometime also we are hearing that the educational all IITs and IAEC is also going to have a super specialist hospital from 800 beds. And we are thinking that this is a very wrong strategy, that to have a medical institute at IAEC or IIT, because they are specialized in engineering and technology. But today, after seeing this one, I realize that this type of innovative product can come when the doctors and the engineers are to be one platform and get this innovative product. I am very, very happy and see this type of thing. Maybe next time onwards, that type of concept will go. I will try to advertise that this thing should come, that this type of number one, tier 1 institute in the country should have these two medical as well as the engineering part. And I wish that the SugarSight, because I am not the sugar patient, neither I have come through that, I have very less knowledge on that, but I just want to say that and we know that like when Professor Padi asked that how many people are there in your family, everybody raised their hand. So that means 20 to 30% patients are there in each and every family. So in these cases, we and as a friend, as a well-wisher, wish that his product, such an innovative product he made, it should go each and every household. And thank you very much for inviting me, Professor Paddy, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dr. Binay K. Das. Dr. Binay K. Das, Director General of Electronics and Communication Systems at DRDO, is a distinguished scientist with over
Thank you so much. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon by now, of course. On the dais, Dr. Shubnaji, it's always a pleasure to be together, and I think mostly we meet at Indian Institute of Science. Dr. Professor Paddy, heartiest congratulations and happy birthday to you on a very special day from all of us. I think from DRDO, you have been born in DRDO in your career, so we have a pride in that. Dr. Srikanth, it's a very educative lecture, really, we really felt it. Dr. Pramila, Dr. Rajpal, I think all of you, and of the dais, my friend Dr. Jagannath Naik and ma'am, pleasure to meet you, maybe first time we met, wonderful, God bless you, and all the wonderful people of Bangalore. Namaskara, Bengaluru. It's always a pleasure to be here. This city has given me a lot of love and affection, let me tell you. I was just thinking, I mean, Dr. Paddy, you know, if you look at him, you'll be scared because you can't say no to him. He has been after me literally that I should not miss this program. Like Dr. Nayak, he was always telling me, and we keep meeting each other at various events, but he did mention about this and the product launch. And as you know, we are in such a place, time is not with us, so somehow back and forth we could manage. God is kind that I'm here and that too for a few more minutes. I have another meeting and I fly to catch. But most important point, let me tell you, 2-3 points. I was thinking myself, like sir says, I also don't know how I came here. It's purely Dr. Paddy. He pulled me out here, and listening to things, it has been very, very educative. And 2-3 important points which bothers me. See, today I'll tell you, India, our country, is in a path of transformation. See, like I said other day, 30 years back, if you look at India, we all understood India, or it has been depicted across the world that India is a country of snake charmers. Maybe a decade after, India was known as a country of call centers. Today, India is a country who is leading its own technology, might be space, the chief is here, might be defense, you have seen of Sindur, might be the artificial intelligence, might be the space programs, or at the end might be the cultural resurgence. A $4 trillion economy which is targeting to hit $10 trillion soon as a completely developed nation. This transformation in few decades, my friends, have not come just by fluke or by lottery. This has come by the conscious thinking, belief, and the passion of 1.4 billion people who believe this country, India, by itself can achieve and be one of the greatest nations in the world. So we are at a phase of transformation. But the most important thing, okay, as DRDO, we make so many weapons, so many platforms, so many systems, and thanks to Honorable Prime Minister who says, Atma Nirbhar Bharat, friends, it is easily said than done. Look at the war. Today, a simple mobile, if you look at from our birth, it is going to be either Samsung or Apple. If you look at our wall, the TV, where the pure entertainment and nothing else, by watching a TV, the India does not win the match. But that we don't trust the Indian systems, there will be either a Samsung or a LG or something else. But imagine, to maintain our sovereignty and to win the trust of 1.4 billion people, our armed forces fight a war with the weapon which has to be designed by India, developed by India, delivered by India, by Indian industries, by Indian brain, wherein you fight a war where there is only champion and no runners-up, either you win or you perish. That's the kind of a fundamental, phenomenal responsibility on all of us that we are doing today as a country. Why I'm saying this to you? I can make the best of the weapon or probably the most devastating one. But the man who is going to deploy that weapon, first and foremost, has to be fit. A fit soldier is the greatest weapon which any country in the world has, because you give the most devastating weapon if the soldier is not fit. It is something like you can have a Ferrari, but if you are not Michael Schumacher, you can't win any of the Formula Ones. So it's a fundamental responsibility of all of us. Empower our country. See, we are one of the largest, 1.4 billion, the youth power of 65% of below 35 years of the age, the greatest power the country has. But youth by age has no meaning. Youth has to be fit. Fit mentally, fit physically, fit morally, fit emotionally, and fit ethically to fight the war. Friends, when God created us, We were all like God actually. We all been born and brought up by Him. But God, as a creator, knew very well all of us are going to be the wayward children in this earth. We will all do what God has says not to do. And that's the reason God has created the incarnation of the God and who has called doctors to save us when we are in trouble. No God has taught us that you have to go and eat pizza, burger there. No God has ever told us that don't do any exercises, be obese, sit there, wait. We born with 1 kg, 2 kg, 3 kg, and finally it is 100 kgs. We all do what we are not supposed to do, but our curiosity naturally propels us to do not which we are not supposed to. So nothing called disease in this. There are so many doctors, I salute them, but to my definition, there is nothing called a disease. I was very happy when that madam was saying that I'm not suffering, I'm having. It's a great word actually, a great statement. None of us are suffering. Suffering comes from within. If we think, we suffer. If we don't think, we don't suffer. We accept the challenge, embrace the challenge, go forward and do the corrections. If you look at me, I think that life has a simple definition for me. It's a control systems guys are here. It's a nice balance between hypo and hyper. That's all is called life. Actually, there is nothing beyond. You go to this end, you have got hypertension. You go to this end, you have got hypo, you have got hypothalamus, hypertension. All that thing happens. Whether it is emotionally, whether it is spiritually, whether it is ethically, whether it is legally, and whether it is biologically. So all that we need to do, have a nice control. So first is, if you have a control, you don't need all these things. You don't need medicines, nothing. Have a nice work, like professor was saying, a nice lifestyle. It is within you. You have to control yourself. I think somebody else has to control you, no. The control is within you. हाथ में रसगुल्ला है, खाना है या फेंकना और दोस्त को खिलाना, तीनों ऑप्शन है. अब चॉइस तो आप ही को करना है. हम कहते हैं जैसे खाते हैं थोड़ा सा, मैं लोगों को पूछता हूँ भाई डायबिटीज है क्यों लेते हो, थोड़ा चख लेते हैं कैसा है. भाई गुलाब जामुन 100 साल पहले जो टेस्ट था आज भी वही है. सो इज रसगुल्ला, सो चॉकलेट. आप क्या इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चाहते हो? व्हाट इज द न्यू यू वांट टू नो? यही फेल होता है दोस्तों, यही फेल होता है. दैट फाइन निडल बैलेंस बिटवीन हाइपर एंड हाइपर. इतना कंट्रोल कर लेना. अभी प्रोफेसर पाड़ी साहब थोड़ी देर को बोलेंगे इसको मैं बुलाया क्यों, ये तो मेरा प्रोडक्ट को बर्बाद करने आया है. ऐसा नहीं है. आई एम सो थ्रिल्ड. दिस वाज द लाइटर नोट. आई एम सो थ्रिल्ड टुडे. आई एम सो फीलिंग प्राउड टुडे दैट एजुकेशन, if it can bring a difference to the common man of my country, that's the true value of education. Education is not earning dollars. And this thinking, and that way, a control man, a program which is autopilot guy who can come and think about how the diabetes can be controlled, this is called the true value of education. More than me, I think the professor would be proud who taught such students. And I'm so proud of Indian Institute of Science that is creating such an environment that we make something which the common people need. I can make rockets, I can make missiles, I can make most of the devastating systems. Yes, those are required. But the actual things which are required is to have 1.4 billion fit Indian. And if you have to make that, of course, each one of us have responsibility towards each one of us. But more than that, whatever knowledge we have, let us give it back to the people. I was so happy to see AI, artificial intelligence coming in. Friends, today, there is a race between man and a tiger. Man is also running. We were running ever since we were born. But Baju mein, a tiger is also running. You know who is the tiger? The tiger is nothing but AI. Quickly climb the tiger, enhance the speed. Else, tiger will climb on you and finished. So master AI, apply AI to whatever best possible, and India will be a global leader of AI because AI has a success story of 3 parts. An analytical mind, a great processor, and huge data. All the 3 India has today. So India is going to be a global leader. That's why a few minutes back I said we are now the world leader in AI and the cultural resurgence, that we have to master this technology, apply it for the common people. That's exactly what I am able to see it here, SugarSight. So I think I wish all the very best to all these designers, my young startups who are coming forward with a strong energy to empower my country. I'll conclude with Vishvasys Technology. Actually, you say it's the name of Vishnu. I expanded it little differently. टेक्नोलॉजी पर विश्वास है तभी तो विश्वास टेक्नोलॉजी है. यू हैव टू बिलीव द टेक्नोलॉजी. और थोड़ा सा एक्सपेंड करूं, यू नो विश्वास क्या होता है? विश्वास, योर स्ट्रेंथ एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, देन यू विल बी द बेस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड. मे गॉड ब्लेस यू. थैंक यू सो मच. हैव ए डायबिटिक फ्री वर्ल्ड. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you, sir, for your special words. And now moving forward, I would like to play a video from Dr. Jitendra Sharma. He is not here today, but he has sent his wishes to Dr. Padi. Dr. Jitendra Sharma is the founder, CEO, and MD of AMTZ, one of the world's largest medical device manufacturing clusters, a pioneer in healthcare technology. He has also served as a senior fellow at Niti Aayog and founded the Kalam Institute of Health Technology. He has built key innovation ecosystems like MediValley and BioValley and chairs the Indian Biomedical Skill Council. A prolific author, he led AMTZ's frontline response during COVID-19, documented in his book Made in Lockdown.
Jai Hind and Namaste from AMTZ, world's largest medical technology cluster. Diabetes is and will continue to be a big burden on public health, simply because it's associated with lifestyle. More than 10 crore people in India are diabetic or borderline diabetic. That's a huge number, greater than many countries put together. Of all interventions that used in diabetes management, the single most impactful intervention is monitoring of blood glucose. And this monitoring has always been a challenge, not simply because of the cost of monitoring, but also of relay of results and the closing of communication loop with right advice guidance, which could be change of insulin dose or factoring of tablets or changing of diet, or even giving glucose in case of hypoglycemia. Professor Radhakant from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, has created this wonderful bundle app, the SugarSight, which aims to simplify this entire process of diagnosing, monitoring, feedback closure of the communication loop and impact. We believe that if this app, this product, this technological intervention is added to clinical guidance, added to better practices, added to right interventions, it would create a huge impact, not just for safety, but also for the good health of the beneficiaries. This app works on continuous glucose monitoring, algorithms, communication of results, and feedback. The continuous glucose monitoring itself is done using high-end sensors that are now being made in India in a big way. And therefore, we hope that an industrial powerhouse for medical technology like AMTZ would be able to partner and support SugarSight and the team at Indian Institute of Science under the leadership of Professor Radhakant to allow production of CGM sensors, the continuous glucose monitoring sensors, at ultra low cost, which when clubbed with this application can lead to impact. So my best wishes to the entire SugarSight team. We wish you all the best and all support to you from AMTZ team. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much to Dr. Jitendra Sharma. And now I would like to call upon stage our honored chief guest, Dr. S. Somnath. Dr. S. Somnath is one of India's leading space scientists and the former chairman of ISRO, credited with elevating India's global standing in space exploration. Thank you so much.
Good morning, all of you. I'm really happy to be part of this launch of SugarSight app by the Vishvasys Technologies. On the dais, Dr. Binay Das, Professor Padi, Dr. Suryanarayan Srikanth, Dr. Pramila Karla, Dr. Sanjay, Professor Raghunandan, Professor Ghosh, Dr. Shyam Chetty, directors of the company, and all those who made this company possible, and all the people who are assembled here to be part of this launch event. My greetings and thanks to each one of you. So when I joined ISRO, I joined with a person, his name
is Janardhan, my boss, immediate boss he was. He was a very good student during his engineering days. As all of us when we were young engineers, we had a habit of studying everything that is possible. So he was studying medicine. Though he was an engineer, mechanical engineer, if anyone goes to him with a symptom of a disease, he will immediately prescribe medicines for him. He had nothing to do with those profession of prescribing medicine. He was an engineer, after all, not a doctor. And I knew his wife is also not a doctor, a homemaker, and he had no doctors at home. So how he was giving these prescriptions, it's all because of his self-learning. He used to learn diseases and treatment himself, and he will start treating whoever comes to his room. Whoever comes, he will prescribe immediately medicines. And he started prescribing me also whenever I had some issues, but I never followed because he was my boss. So what ultimately happened is that that person started treating himself, because once you know about symptoms and know about treatment, you will start treating yourself. And ultimately he fell ill because of the over medication. I think this happens to most people, those who don't learn medicine properly, not through the proper way, and start learning medicine and I think the doctors know about this issue. When whoever joins them the medical degree, they all feel that they have this disease, and they start treating themselves. So ultimately I seeing him, I decided that I will never ever learn anything about medicine, because I wanted to concentrate on aerospace only. So I have no ability to memorize my heart rate, BP, sugar numbers, or many other numbers that define our state of health. So those underlying state space is not known to me at all. Though I had enough of diseases, but then I never knew about sugar related issues. Neither me or my family had any time this problem, something to deal with sugar. So when Professor Padi one day told me, this was not now, many years back, that he is trying to develop an insulin pump and a software for this, I was not interested at all, because this is not my problem, and I never wanted to attend to medical sciences or medical technologies. I had somehow developed a allergy to it. But then recently I had an opportunity to visit some of the US universities. That was because of my assignment with one of the universities here in Bangalore. We wanted to connect to most of the universities in the US. So I visited almost 10-15 universities, Ivy League and many others. So to my surprise, I went to most of the aerospace departments, mechanical engineering departments. You know what they were doing mostly in research? All of them doing medical technology and medical related research. I was wondering what is happening here in aerospace. All these aerospace people have moved over from the conventional aerospace domain. I met another control engineer. He is working on controlling cells to produce, I think medicines. So he was putting it in a system and trying to develop algorithms for making the cells to design the medicine required for a certain treatment. Really astonishing to see that. And he was again doing another set of experiments on bacterial families to develop chemicals and polymers out of that synthesis. So it was really surprising to see this type of working. Then I found another aerospace engineer working on brain mapping, using the waves that you are able to study the activities in the brain to look at the possibility of you having a disease at a certain point in time in your life, much later, not now. So it actually goes through the understanding of the brain waves. I think it must be the brain wave that he subject me to the test also. Then he said that you can conduct a test, so he'll put a laptop and all those instruments on me, and then I can look at it and then go through what is being displayed on the screen and make my mental images. And at the end of those processes, he will evaluate my state of health of the brain and also predict whether I have some symptoms that are linked to various issues like the Alzheimer's, or even a disease of nothing to do with the brain also being created maybe a few days or few weeks down the line. And you can also estimate the age of my brain. To my surprise, I found my age of my brain is much less than my real age. So that was a thing of thing that they told me, and I liked really well the software because of that aspect. But then this is really happening there in most of the universities, and possibly I was trying to find out why it is happening. I understood that human beings are more keen towards now health, care and health-related issues becoming one of the top priority for communities, administrators, governments, and that the research funding for these activities are also is on the increase in the US. Possibly the professors is able to bring in more of money to the universities because of this. And this causes substantial increase in medical technology research happening. So they are into many domains now. It is not just into those technologies that to deliver insulin to human beings or even to look at brain mapping, but more into deeper knowledges of how human beings really work in terms of cellular systems, the genomics, into the biome research basically, because we all live because of there are bacterial families living inside us which happily living along with us, and then contributing to what we are today. So you understand that and then engineer it appropriately, and there are many such related technologies being worked out. In this, a lot of activities are happening, which are related to sensors. For example, sensors becomes the core of everything that you really want to measure. Then look at data-based intelligence, which you call it AI. So you need to have huge amount of health-related data, analysis of it. Again, related to brain wave mapping, and brain research becomes a top domain, how you understand computing happening in the brain and external, internal measurements, the work like Neuralink. Then you talk about robotics becomes a very important area in medical research. I think imaging, understanding, targeted medicine delivery, operations linked to the robotic scanning, then making sense out of what those images come out. Looking at genomics-based treatments becomes an important topic of research in the West now. You can see this domain is growing tremendously. I think the Indian Institute of Science is also taken the right stand in building a healthcare-related research and technology linked to healthcare become an integral part of the scientific work that engineers need to do. So I think now this is the time right now that I need to forego my earlier stand that I will not learn medical technologies, medicines, or health-related parameters, because it also struck me hard in the recent times, so that I started learning it little stronger nowadays to understand what all makes a human being work. I think a lot of the technologies and science that we studied can really be beneficial in that sector as well. So when doctors and engineers come together to create something very revolutionary, I think that we are on the right path of many aspects of human life. I think this is an age where this change is really happening. I think we should all be happy to see this change happening in our lifetime, that the domains are no longer separated. I think that compartmentalization of many of these domains are now vanishing, and the right time for multi-domain skill sets to emerge, and a platform where doctors and engineers sit together to discuss something to deal with ourselves, we become that subject of discussion. This is an important era where I believe the integration of this knowledge of various domains of knowledge will get integrated to create humans which are more powerful in many ways, ability to decide his own destiny, to look at healthcare as an important issue, possibly look at longevity as an important goal, to extend our lifespan substantially longer in the years to come, give experiences to human beings which were never possible. For example, I want to go to moon and be there and experience how the moon will look like. I believe not many years from now, we won't ever have to travel to moon. I'm sure that while sitting in our home, that you will actually experience going to moon, we will actually experience climbing Everest, we will actually experience things that we have never ever experienced. I think that integration of sensory perception into our body through external stimuli, computer interfaces will definitely happen. I think these are things that are going to happen in the years to come. And this is an excellent time that we are living to see all of these transitions happen. So in that context, I think Padi's statement comes again. Now I start believing you now. I told you that I never believed you that you will ever build it. But then the insulin pump and insulin app, SugarSight, which is now becoming extremely complex, though it looks so beautiful. I think you have been able to put people together. Though he had been talking to so many people, I think I had no faith, but I think many of you had faith in him, and I'm very sure about it. So, and that faith is showing up today in the form of this app. But I had faith in something else, so which I will tell you that we work together to make it happen. So when he talked about his other initiative, which is not known to you now, is related to his real core competence, which is autopilot. And he was working on drones and how you can make drones fly and land, and then how that knowledge can be used for landing Chandrayaan-3 on the moon. I think for that I approached him when we had a failure of not able to land on the moon. At that time, Padi and the people in Indian Institute, our URAO Satellite Center, worked together to create an algorithm, and we were able to put together in the Chandrayaan-3 mission that was one of the reasons for it to land properly. I think that part I had always trust in him. But I never believed that he can do such things as well, connecting to doctors and connecting to people who are doing software development. I think it's really wonderful to see you doing all of this, and I'm sure the first step is only taken. I am not sure that this is the important step. Of course, launching it is an important step, because SugarSight as an app gives you a certain amount of capability, integrating with the third-party sensors and data. But then it has to also integrate with what he said, the sensors as well as actuators should come, the control algorithm should come, the pump with its own sensors and the app-driven technology need to come within a very compact size. I wish that it will happen, because he has assembled a set of competent people. And very important part of the director of this company is to bring people on board, the right type of people on board. I am sure that he has done that, and more people definitely will be joining to make this as a very important healthcare app and application and device that is being launched by Indian Institute of Science. This domain is very, very important, and I'm very happy that Indian Institute of Science and my classmate Padi and his co-associates are making this happen. Wish you all the very best, and like to see its next steps happening soon. All the very best to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. All the speeches are more or less done, so we'll talk about just one more speech before vote of thanks and all that. But before that, Dr. Das has requested me to he'd like to be excused. I know this, I mean, in-service Director General of DRDO. So of course, there are too many things to be done. He finished one meeting in the morning and one more to be there in one more meeting, and before he catches a flight at 3 o'clock. So this is the type of thing. But again, thank you very much for coming here and spending all that wonderful talk as well. Miss you for the lunch.
I don't know. मेरा हिस्सा भी खा लेना.
Okay, over to you, Kulka sir.
Now we are at the end of program. It's time to felicitate our dignitaries for their support and presence today. I would like to invite Professor Padi to please come and do the honors. May I request each of our dignitaries to kindly come forward and accept this small token of gratitude.
Just 1 minute, then come back. Okay, there's some. Just come back inside. We'll give you some token of appreciation. So I think
that left now?
We forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Yes. This is medical science. Medical science. No, he'll not leave me otherwise.
Finally, we would like to appreciate the dedicated volunteers who worked behind the scenes to make this event successful. I would like to invite our IT team who ensured everything was technically perfect. So I am calling Sai, Lohit, Yashwant, Ashni and Sagar. To felicitate them, I request Dr. Pati to please come forward and do the honors. Next is the team that coordinated and kept this event engaging and running seamlessly. I request Dr. Rajpal to do the honors, and I would like to request Dr. Leilakshi to please come on stage and, and accept this token of appreciation. Miss Anushri, and Miss Muskan. Now there are the people who handled all on-ground arrangements and overall event management with dedication. So I would like to invite Dr. Asima Padhi and Dr. Pramila to please come and present this token of appreciation to the team. So I would like to call Miss Soumya, Miss Kalyani, Miss Divya Shri, and Miss Nandini. Our next people are the creative minds behind the visuals and communication. So I request Dr. Somnath to kindly felicitate them. I would like to call Praveen on stage and myself, Utkarsha, for receiving this token of appreciation.
request Dr. Shrikant to give the certificates to all the volunteers who helped us to organize this event today. Ms. Shivanjali Ghosh, Ms. Akanksha, Ms. Aina, Mr. Sharath, Aditi, and Vasant Vignesh.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call Dr. Sanjay Rajpal for vote of thanks.
Namaste, good afternoon, Jai Hind. First of all, thank you very, very much to the whole SugarSight team, project developers, scientists, for all the hard work with compassion they have done. Give them a round of applause wherever they are sitting. Yes. And again, most importantly, thanks to Professor Radhakant Padhi, the man with passion, with energy, with, you can say, zeal. Without his passion, and especially today on his birthday as well, big round of applause, and thanks to Professor Radhakant Padhi as well. And one thing special, thanks to all our audience, all our listeners on a Sunday. It's not very easy. It's easier said than done. कि संडे को आना इतना आसान नहीं होता है. Everybody has from Monday to Friday week के बाद. So we especially have something when in this hall we kept 11 cameras. 3 of the best audience who were attentive, who were punctual, who were smiling, who were having eye contacts. They will get 3 books co-authored by Professor Padhi and myself. 11 cameras are there in the hall. So yes, yes. Sir, some outside at the lunch as well. Everything is planned. Everything is being planned. We know that this question can come. So 3 best audience will get, because we have our volunteers as well. So 3 best audience, and Pramila Kalra madam will later announce the name of these winners as well. So thank you very much for you sparing your time, for making this journey from not only diabetes management, it's the journey of hope. It is journey of happiness. It is the journey of empowerment. And especially, largely in this medtech space, all these global medtech companies are there. But how Indian Institute of Science, our scientists, engineers, compassionate doctors, they have come together. So thank you to all of you who has played a role. And thank you very much to the all people who were managing this whole event. Because yesterday, when I came to see that whole cleanliness, all the staff, I do not know the names, sabka bahut bahut dhanyavad, sabka abhar. So thank you very much. So with these hopes that our diabetes remains controlled and innovations remain uncontrolled, and our country remain healthier. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you again. One small announcement that I thought unplanned again. I mean, probably many of you might have got that lunch coupon or something. That was a necessity in the morning, but not now anymore. You can just have it. We'll also instruct the caterer there that lunch is not, coupon is not required. All of you are welcome to just drop by and have it. Thank you very much.
We can proceed for the lunch now.
Well, the lunch. The 1 second, the lunch is not arranged here. Lunch is arranged in Aerospace Engineering Department ground floor. Just 2 minutes walk from here. You can just follow us. And then the subsequent program after the lunch is also there for technologies in diabetes care for 2 hours. Formal kind of, the 3 talks are there. One speaker is there from Pune, one is from Bangalore, and myself again. And then followed by ACIDOS, AGM as well. Those are for the society again. But the technical session from 2 to 4 is open for everyone. You can drop by there in our aerospace auditorium. Don't come back here. We'll have rest of the program there. And there is, whoever wants a busy meter test, it is free. There is some counter there. You can have a blood glucose test before meal, after meal. You can buy stuff there. One or two who express some interest, you can buy thing there. So let us walk down to aerospace. Thank you. Too crowded. Too crowded.